What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're doing another treasure map preparation video. We did already make a video talking about free-to-play teams, which are questionable at best. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out, definitely go ahead and peep it. We go through a lot of details in that video regarding what the boss gimmicks are, and make sure to go ahead and check it out. And if you want to check it out in-game, definitely do that too. It'll give you a little bit of an insight as to what you should be building for. But in this video, we're building teams that are definitely more accessible. We're using characters that are relatively more powerful comparatively to the ones we used in the free-to-play video. We have some rare recruits, we are using some SugoFest exclusive characters, but we're not using ultra recent SugoFest exclusive characters or ultra recent rare recruits or treasure map rare recruits at all. So this may be a video where a lot of you guys out there can take some inspiration on and start to build your own teams in preparation for the upcoming treasure map versus Kanjuro, which is actually going to be beginning on, I believe it's the 16th of March. Yeah, 16th of March at 1 AM PST time. So make sure to go ahead, get your teams prepped and sorted. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. The first boss is versus Drake. Now remember that if you have the free-to-play Nami, the one you're seeing here in the middle row, she actually gets rid of all of the debuffs on Battle 3, including the 5 turns of Bind, which remember with sockets goes down to 2, and the 3 turns of Paralysis inflicted to your middle row. So Nami special unlocks everything, and then you can use whatever you want to get through it. So we're just using Roger Newgate as the captain because they seem pretty awesome, and they're going to be extremely strong, of course, because they do have that type advantage being the Whitebeard version, and the rest of the characters are just fluff. You can basically use whatever you want, but as long as you have that Nami, in terms of being able to be accessible, is very, very good. Moving on now, this is going to be our team versus Who's Who. Now remember, with Battle 3 we get unfavorable, empty block slots, so a lot of really nasty slots that we have to deal with here. We also get top row bind, so our captains are going to be binded for 8 turns, goes down to 5 with sockets, and 5 turns of special bind is inflicted to our team. So in order to get around the special bind, we're using the Luffy character. He also gives us an attack boost, and to get rid of the block slots, we're using the Robin, which is great, and then we can also get rid of the bind via the support of Luffy, which is the Rayleigh character, and we can also use Shanks and Buggy, which can help us unlock that bind as well. Sabo's here because he can provide us with a color affinity boost, and then Garp special will provide us with a full board of matching slots after the fact of removing those block slots as well. So this is going to be a relatively okay team. It's not going to last, up until like nav level like 200 or anything like that, but it should be able to last a decent amount of time, and you could definitely add an orb booster potentially if you find some other way to replace some of these characters. If you've got more powerful units you want to put on the team, definitely go for it, but this should be able to get the job done for a little bit. Moving on now, Sasaki is the next boss, and remember that characters that are Dex, Quick, or Int will be receiving the cooldown, and ideally bringing Perospero and the free-to-play Chopper are really good for this fight. On the final battle, you get given Attack Down and Paralysis for 5 turns, which Chopper can actually completely get rid of. You also have to deal with enemy resilience, and then also the enemy has an effect where if your chain multiplier exceeds 3, you get given Attack Down. So luckily with Perospero, he gives you a 2.75 times chain lock, and he also does end of turn damage. And Perospero is actually a pretty decent captain as well. When you use his special, he becomes a 4 times captain to Striker and Cerebral. Very nice unit to use here. So high damage output for sure. You've got Hyogoro as well, which can provide you with a color affinity boost as well, so making sure that your quick units hit super hard against the strength Sasaki. You've also got Robin for an attack boost, Lucci for an orb boost. Should have not too many issues with this team getting through this boss fight. The last of the Battle Rush bosses is against Black Maria. Now, with this fight, you are going to be getting cooldowns for Driven, Slasher, and Free Spirit, and we're going to be using the Driven team here with 6+ V2 Doflamingo. Now, you get given 8 turns of Despair, which with sockets goes down to 5, and then with the activation of Kaido and the Oniwabanshu, we can completely get rid of the Despair. Kaido's special activation will also get rid of the 3 turns of attack and orb boost that is given to us via Black Maria's preemptive attack. We definitely want to get rid of that because it's only a 1.1 boost, which is pretty bad, and luckily when he does remove it, Kaido will also inflict a 2.25 times attack boost to our Driven characters, so that's very good. However, Kaido does activate an orb changing special, and when we do activate an orb changing special, then all of our slots are changed into color slots, whether it be strength, dex, quicksile, or int, and they're put in the slot change impossible barriers. But luckily, with the captain effect of Doflamingo, the chances of getting a strength slot is extremely low, so we don't really have to worry about that, even though Kaido does treat them as beneficial to our team. And remember that the dex and quick slots will be counted as beneficial to the driven units as well. Now, the thing about it is after you actually kill Black Maria, she's going to revive and have normal attacks only inflicted to our team. Luckily, when we use the Doflamingo special, we get an attack boost because we have normal attacks only, and also makes Sign Int slots beneficial. So, you know, basically going to have a full board of matching slots on the revive stage, and if you get too many Sign Int slots on the first stage, that actually could be a bit of a problem, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think this should be a pretty comfortable team, especially because we have attack boost. We're going to have, you know, Blackbeard for a conditional boost as well, which is able to activate. This is going to do a lot of damage against Black Maria. And now we can finally move on to the final boss versus Ulti page 1, but we will be talking about the Intrusion boss in just a moment. But this is the team that I'm suggesting here for this one. So remember that Dex, Quick, and Psy characters receive the cooldown here, and oddly enough, V2 Kuzan is considered a 1.35 point booster, so he's actually a really high point booster, and oddly enough, he's actually really good because you can partner that up with the friend captain Izo and Okiku, which work very well together, as the fact that Kuzan himself is a shooter unit, and the fact that Kuzan himself as a captain does boost Quick and Psy characters. So that hybrid actually works pretty well in an accessible manner. So I know a lot of people out there will probably have V2 Kuzan, so you can actually run that hybrid, works pretty well. Now, as for the other characters for our team, we've got Magellan, who's going to be really nice to have, because Magellan actually will get rid of some of the threshold on the final stage in tandem with the Kuma. Kuma and Magellan will remove all of the threshold on the final stage, and Magellan will give us a conditional boost as well, which is great. We've got Rayleigh and Gaban because we're using them to get rid of the attack down on the second stage. Definitely important to get rid of that. We don't have to worry about the paralysis because we're using Izo and Okiku as our captain, so we do not have to worry about that at all. And really, the only reason why we have Smoothie and Oven is because we can use them on stage 2, and then use the special ability of Izo and Okiku to make the orb boost from Smoothie and Oven get extended for multiple turns, so that we can carry it into the final boss room. And also, by the fact that we have an orb boost and a chain lock, it means that it will actually activate the super type requirements for Izo and Okiku. So actually a pretty good set of specials that we've got here, and should be able to get the job done without too many issues. So long as you can find those friend captains, you're not going to have a problem. And finally making our way to the Intrusion boss, which is definitely the most difficult of these fights against Kanjuro here. Now, this is once again assuming the fact that Izo and Okiku are going to be the friend captains here. And for this team, we're using Hyogoro as the captain, just mainly because of space issues. Ideally, I wanted to use V2 Kuzan as the captain, but you know, you do have to deal with a lot of different debuffs in this fight. So, of course, characters that are Slasher, Free Spirit, or Shooter will be receiving the cooldown. And on Battle 2, we get given the 5 turns of attack down if our chain is below 2.5. If we've got Izo and Okiku, we can use their special to get a 3.5 chain lock, which is obviously super ideal. And then there's also 4 turns of Rainbow and Blue Shield. We have Gyukimaru for the Rainbow Shield. We have Hyogoro for the Blue Shield. He also provides a color affinity boost, so hopefully we have type advantage on that stage, and we don't even know what color that boss is. And then on the final boss stage, we get a 70% health cut, 6 turns of special bind, and a 1.1 chain lock. Now, with this situation with the special bind, only Wabanshu actually completely resist it. Well, they don't completely resist it, but they get rid of 10 turns of it on themselves. We can use them to remove 2 turns, and then the Luffy character removes 5 turns. So those 2 characters will remove it. Luffy also grants an attack boost for our team, which is great. And then also we have the Wapple character. Wapple is like one of the only free-to-play units that actually works in this situation to reduce the incoming damage from the enemy. And they also provide a orb boost to our shooter and driven characters. So because of the fact that we have Izo and Okiku, we can have them being a shooter character. They will get an orb boost off of that, which is good. But man, oh man, is it a very frustrating situation to be in if you don't have a V2 Odin. V2 Odin is very good for this fight because he'll be able to provide that damage reduction just naturally for you. But if you don't have that situation going on, it's very, very annoying to get through this quest. And I'm personally not looking forward to building my own teams for this, because this looks like a very pesky treasure map fight. It just doesn't look like a very good time. So I don't even know how much personally I'm going to be farming with this one, just because of how annoying it's going to be. But this is another team that you can build that should be able to take on the Kanjuro Intrusion boss battle. So with all of that being said, that is going to wrap up yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.